Hi, my name is Annette Sarkissian, and I'm going to be your chemistry teacher this year at Western Christian Academy. I just wanted to introduce myself to you and wanted to let you know a little bit about myself. I've been teaching for over 10 years now. I've taught chemistry full-time in the classroom for 2 years, and I've been teaching with Western Christian Academy for about 7 years now. And so I'm happy to be your resource teacher, your distance teacher this year. And just wanted you to know that I am a click away. I'm waiting to receive your messages, your questions, requests for help, anything that you might not understand. I wanted to tell you a little bit about chemistry this year. We will be covering, looking at atoms and elements and compounds and molecules, looking at molecular structures. You'll be studying gas laws and the way they behave, so that will involve math. You'll be looking at chemical equations and how those work, and balancing chemical equations, and looking at chemical equilibrium and pH, and figuring out the equilibrium constant and pH logs. So there will be a fair amount of math. I recommend having your calculator and a good periodic table in front of you when you're doing chemistry. One other thing is that you must complete 1 experiment per unit. You're going to be responsible for finding the supplies that you need for that experiment. So there are different places you can get them, although a lot of them you can find at your local hardware store or Walmart or drugstore. But if you have trouble finding supplies, send me a message and I'd be happy to direct you to different websites where you can find those supplies at a minimal cost to you. Plan ahead though, because you will need to get those supplies before you do the experiment. And sometimes it can take a day or 2 to complete the experiment. So make sure you look at the experiments right away when you start a unit. Make a list of those supplies so that you can get them ahead of time. All right. And a couple things about the write-up of the experiment. The project is worth 25% of your grade. Virtual projects don't count. So if you see a virtual project, don't look at that one. You need to do an actual one where you're doing something hands-on. And there are a couple things. I want you to follow the scientific method when you are completing an experiment. You're familiar with it, I am sure, but I want you to write it up and have all of these headings if at all possible. Okay, these are the headings I'm looking for: purpose, hypothesis, materials, procedure, results, and conclusion. For every experiment, even if you're following the instructions that are right there in front of you, type out exactly what you did, because it might be slightly different than what the instructions say to do. And this is good practice because every good scientist always documents exactly what they do and then what the results are. And then in the conclusion is when you answer the questions that are in the project itself. Okay, so this is something that you need to follow. Also, I want you to know that for every experiment, this is how I'm going to grade it using this rubric. And it goes like this. Photo of the experiment is required for me to grade it. I need you to take a photo of your supplies. Even if you don't take a photo of yourself doing it, I need a photo that documents that you've actually done the experiment, that you had the supplies, and that you completed it. Then you will need, that's worth 20 points. You will also need a hypothesis before you start, a procedure documenting everything that you did, the experimental results, which are worth 25 points, and then the formatting. If it's really hard for me to follow, I will deduct 5 points. And then the discussion conclusion. Again, that's where you answer the questions that are provided in the project and where you talk about what you learned from the experiment. So that's what I'm looking for the experiment. And if you have any more questions, again, I'm a click away. You can call me or do anything else to contact me via email, via Skype. There's lots of ways to get in touch with me, and I am here to help you. So please let me help you. And if some of the concepts are confusing, because chemistry can be hard for some people, just give me a call or drop me a line and we can set up a Skype tutoring session where I can help walk you through some of those concepts. Okay? All right. Looking forward to a great year with you. Thank you, and bye-bye.